Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Building a strong personality isn't a mystery. It's a journey. And I'm not talking about just looking good or having a quick comeback. I'm talking about real, deep, unshakable strength that comes from within. First things first, you've got to know who you are. You've got to stop looking around at what everyone else is doing and start asking yourself, who am I? That means being clear about your values, your purpose, and your goals. If you don't know who you are, how can you expect anyone else to? Let me be real. When you walk into a room, people feel your presence because of who you are, not because of what you wear or what you say. It's about that energy you bring. But you can't bring energy if you don't know where you're going. Now, confidence. Let me tell you, confidence isn't about never having doubts. It's about showing up in spite of them. Confidence is a muscle, and you need to work it out every single day. Stop worrying about being perfect, because that's not real life. Be confident in your mistakes, because guess what? You're going to make them. Own them. Learn from them. When you're confident, you become magnetic. People want to be around someone who believes in themselves even when things aren't going the way they planned. Here's the next piece, and it's crucial. Don't be afraid to fail. You can't build a strong personality by playing it safe. Listen, we all fail, every single one of us. I've failed more times than I can count, but you know what I did? I got back up. You can't win if you're afraid to lose. If you're not willing to step out and take risks, you'll always be stuck in the same place. And let me tell you something else. Surround yourself with the right people. You want to build a strong personality, don't hang around negative people who tear you down or people who don't believe in what you're capable of. Get yourself around folks who encourage you, challenge you, and most importantly, make you want to be better every day. The company you keep reflects the person you become. Now, embrace your uniqueness. You are not supposed to be like anyone else. Don't try to fit into a mold that society has made for you. You were made to stand out. Your quirks, your flaws, your strengths, all of it. That's what makes you special. Don't hide that. Don't water it down. Be who you were meant to be. The world needs more of that. Finally, stay true to your word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. Don't just talk a good game. Walk it out. Your word is your bond. When people know that they can trust you, when they know you keep it real no matter what, there's nothing that can break you. So let's wrap this up, because I'm about to get out of here. A strong personality doesn't just show up overnight. It's built piece by piece, day by day. It's about showing up, working hard, and becoming the person you're meant to be. If you want to build that strength, start today. Start with you. Be the person you admire and let the world watch you rise. Now, go out there and make it happen. When you start on the journey of building a strong personality, the most essential place to begin is by truly understanding who you are. This is not as simple as knowing your name or the basic facts about your background. It goes much deeper than that. Understanding who you are means knowing your core beliefs, your values, your purpose in life, and the principles that guide your decisions. The foundation of a strong personality begins with clarity about these things. One of the most important aspects of understanding who you are is figuring out your values. Your values are the internal compass that guides your actions, your thoughts, and your reactions. They are your beliefs about what is important in life. If you have strong, well-defined values, you can withstand almost any external pressure or influence. People with unclear or weak values often find themselves lost, drifting through life without purpose, and easily swayed by the opinions of others. But when you know what you stand for, you can face challenges and decisions with conviction because you're anchored to something solid. Think about it this way. Have you ever faced a tough situation where you had to make a decision that wasn't easy and you found yourself wondering what to do? It's at these times that your values come into play. If you value honesty, for example, you'll choose to speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. If you value kindness, you'll show compassion, even when no one is watching. Values provide the clarity you need to navigate life's challenges. The stronger your values, the clearer the path becomes, and the more resilient you become as you walk down that path. But values are just one part of the equation. The second critical element in understanding who you are is your purpose. Your purpose is your reason for being. It's the driving force behind everything you do. People who lack a sense of purpose often find themselves aimlessly wandering through life, unsure of what they should be doing or where they should be going. When you don't know your purpose, life feels directionless, and your actions can become disjointed and lack meaning. Having a strong sense of purpose can be a powerful motivator. It gives you energy to tackle difficult tasks and enables you to persist through adversity. A person with purpose doesn't waste time or energy on things that don't matter. They are laser focused on their goals, and that focus helps them stay consistent and productive. The clarity of purpose will propel you forward, especially when times get tough, because you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Purpose also gives your life meaning, whether you find purpose in your family, in your career, in helping others, or in personal growth. When you know your purpose, you know your direction. It helps you prioritize your time and resources, making it easier to make decisions because they all align with what truly matters to you. And let's not forget, when you're aligned with your purpose, you become more magnetic to others. People are naturally drawn to individuals who are living with intention, who have a reason for what they do. Another component of understanding who you are is knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Too often, people focus solely on what they lack and fail to recognize the strengths they possess. If you want to build a strong personality, you must first acknowledge what makes you unique. What are your talents? What do you do naturally well? These strengths are the foundation upon which you can build, and understanding them allows you to leverage them in your personal and professional life. At the same time, recognizing your weaknesses is just as important. A strong personality isn't built on the illusion of perfection. It's built on the acceptance of your flaws and the understanding that improvement is always possible. Knowing your weaknesses doesn't make you weak, it makes you self-awareness. And with that self-awareness comes the power to work on those areas that need development. No one is perfect, but when you know where you need to improve, you can actively work on strengthening those areas and avoid letting them hold you back. The key is not to be discouraged by your weaknesses, but to be proactive in addressing them. When you're clear about your strengths and weaknesses, you start to feel more in control of your life. You stop pretending to be someone you're not, and you stop comparing yourself to others. You can focus your energy on building on your strengths and working to improve the areas where you're less strong, which will ultimately give you a more To truly know who you are, you also have to understand how your past experiences have shaped you. Our past experiences, both the triumphs and the failures, form the lens through which we see the world. If you've had a rough childhood or difficult relationships, that history can impact how you interact with others and how you see yourself. It's important to look at your past, acknowledge what you've learned from it, and understand how it influences who you are today. This doesn't mean letting your past define you in a negative way, but rather recognizing how your experiences have contributed to your growth. The challenges you've overcome are a part of your story, and they've made you who you are today. When you understand how your past has shaped your beliefs, attitudes, and actions, you gain even more clarity about who you are and where you're headed. Your personality is constantly evolving, and part of understanding who you are means being open to growth and change. You are not a static, finished product. You're a work in progress. It's okay to change your mind, to evolve, and to shift directions. In fact, it's necessary if you want to continue growing. This growth comes from self-awareness and the willingness to learn from your experiences. Knowing who you are also involves understanding how you interact with the world around you. Your personality is not just defined by your inner thoughts and beliefs. It's also shaped by how you communicate, connect, and engage with others. This means understanding your emotional intelligence, the ability to be aware of your emotions and the emotions of others, and using that awareness to guide your behavior. Emotional intelligence is key in building strong, meaningful relationships, both personally and professionally. To know who you are means being honest with yourself. It requires taking the time to reflect on your life and to understand how all the pieces fit together. It involves identifying your core values, understanding your purpose, acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses, and accepting how your past experiences have shaped who you are. When you know who you are, you become unstoppable. You stop living for the approval of others, and you stop second-guessing your decisions. You become clear, confident, and ready to take on whatever life throws your way. Confidence is not something that you're born with, and it's certainly not something that magically appears overnight. No, confidence is something you develop, something you build, something you strengthen over time. It's a muscle. Like any muscle in your body, if you don't exercise it, it won't grow. If you don't challenge it, it won't get stronger. And just like physical muscles, it needs consistent work to see results. The good news is that confidence is entirely within your control. And if you work at it, you can make it a part of who you are, a foundational element of your personality. One of the most powerful things about confidence is that it has nothing to do with perfection. In fact, it thrives in imperfection. Too many people think that in order to be confident, they have to have everything figured out. They think they have to be perfect, flawless, or without mistakes. But that's a lie. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about accepting that you're not perfect, that you don't have all the answers, but you're okay with that. Confidence is about showing up regardless of your flaws, your mistakes, or your fears. It's the belief that you are enough, exactly as you are in the moment. When you begin to embrace this idea, you'll start to notice a shift. You won't be so worried about what people think of you. You won't be paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. You'll stop seeking validation from others because you'll realize that you don't need anyone else's approval to be worthy. The moment you can stand confidently in who you are, flaws and all, is the moment you truly tap into your power. But here's the kicker. You can't get there without putting in the work. Building confidence starts with action. Nothing happens without action. You can talk about wanting confidence all day long, but until you start showing up, taking risks, and pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, nothing will change. Confidence is built on a series of small, consistent actions. These actions are what create the evidence that you can handle challenges, face fears, and perform under pressure. And when you see yourself succeeding in these small steps, your belief in yourself begins to grow. Think about a time when you did something for the first time. Maybe it was a job interview, a presentation, or even something smaller like trying a new activity or sport. The first time you did it, you probably weren't sure what to expect, and you might have even felt some nerves. But once you took that first step, the nerves started to fade. With every successful action you took, you built more confidence. You realized that you can handle discomfort, that you can keep going even when things get tough. That's what confidence is made of. Action, progress, and proof that you can handle whatever comes your way. Another critical element of confidence is self-talk. The way you speak to yourself has an incredible impact on your mindset. If you tell yourself that you're not good enough or that you can't do something, you'll start to believe it. Your mind is powerful, and what you tell yourself becomes your reality. So if you want to build confidence, you need to change the conversation you're having with yourself. Start speaking to yourself like you would speak to your best friend. Be kind, be encouraging, and above all, be supportive. When you start to practice positive self-talk, you'll begin to challenge the negative thoughts that have been holding you back. Instead of doubting your abilities or focusing on your weaknesses, you'll start focusing on your strengths. You'll remind yourself of past successes, even the small ones. You'll recognize your efforts and you'll celebrate your growth. This shift in how you talk to yourself changes how you view the world and how you view your place in it. But don't expect this to happen overnight. Changing your inner dialogue takes time and practice. The negative self-doubting thoughts have been ingrained in your mind for years, and it's going to take consistent effort to rewire that thinking. But every time you challenge a negative thought with a positive one, you're building your confidence. Over time, your mindset will shift, and you'll begin to see yourself as capable, worthy, and deserving of success. Another key component of confidence is acceptance of failure. Here's the thing. Nobody gets through life without failure. Failure is a part of success. In fact, failure is often the most important part of success. The reason so many people struggle with confidence is because they fear failure. They think that failure means they're not good enough, that they're not capable, or that they've lost the game. But the truth is, failure is simply feedback. It's an opportunity to learn, grow, and do better next time. When you can reframe failure in this way, you stop fearing it. Instead of avoiding failure, you start embracing it as a necessary step toward your ultimate goal. The more you fail, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the more confident you become. Every failure teaches you something valuable, whether it's about your own abilities, the world around you, or the way you approach challenges. When you can accept failure as a part of the process and not a reflection of your worth, you free yourself from the chains of self-doubt. And this, my friends, is when true confidence begins to blossom. Self-compassion is also a cornerstone of confidence. You have to be kind to yourself. In the same way that you wouldn't talk harshly to a friend who is struggling, don't talk harshly to yourself. When you make a mistake, when you face a setback, or when you're not where you want to be, show yourself some compassion. Give yourself the grace to be imperfect, to struggle, and to fail. This doesn't mean giving up or settling for mediocrity. It means acknowledging that you are human and deserving of kindness, especially from yourself. Self-compassion helps you recover from setbacks faster and prevents you from getting stuck in negative thought cycles. It allows you to bounce back from disappointments with resilience and to keep moving forward with optimism. The more compassion you show yourself, the easier it becomes to maintain your confidence in the face of adversity. Building confidence also requires commitment. It's easy to feel confident when everything is going well, but true confidence is tested in times of struggle. The key to maintaining your confidence is staying committed to your growth even when the going gets tough. There will be times when you want to quit, when the doubts creep in, and when you question whether you're good enough. But in those moments, commitment to yourself and your goals is what will keep you going. Commitment is the fuel that keeps you moving forward even when the path ahead seems uncertain. In the end, confidence is a journey, not a destination. It's not something you achieve once and then never have to worry about again. It's something you constantly work at, something you develop with every action you take, every positive thought you think, and every failure you embrace. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, being real, and trusting in your own ability to handle whatever comes your way. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes, and the more unstoppable you'll feel. Failure is often seen as the enemy, something to be feared and avoided at all costs. People work their entire lives to avoid it, thinking that failure is the ultimate sign of weakness, incompetence, or inadequacy. But if you're trying to build a strong personality, you have to flip the script on failure. You need to stop viewing it as a setback and start seeing it as an opportunity, an essential stepping stone on your journey to growth. Without failure, there is no success. It is through failure that we learn, adapt, and ultimately become better versions of ourselves. If you truly want to build a strong personality, you need to embrace failure. Not just accept it, but actively pursue it as part of the process. The first step in embracing failure is realizing that it is inevitable. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity, you'll be waiting forever. Life is unpredictable. Things won't always go according to plan, and you will make mistakes. Accepting this truth, that failure is not only possible, but likely, is the foundation of building confidence in yourself and your abilities. When you let go of the fear of failure, you free yourself to take risks, try new things, and venture outside your comfort zone. When you stop worrying about the consequences of failure, you begin to act with intention and purpose. The truth is, the most successful people are not the ones who have never failed. They are the ones who have failed the most, but never let failure stop them from trying again. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a natural part of the learning process. And if you want to build a strong personality, you need to start thinking this way too. When you fail, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It simply means you're not there yet. The key to moving forward is to look at your failure objectively, extract the lessons from it, and apply those lessons going forward. The most important part of failure is the ability to learn from it. When you fail, you are given feedback that you would never receive if you were always succeeding. You can learn about your strengths and weaknesses. You can identify areas where you need to improve, where you need to change your approach, or where you need to put in more effort. Failure teaches you what works and what doesn't. It shows you the gaps in your knowledge or abilities, and it gives you a roadmap for growth. The more you fail, the more opportunities you have to learn. Each failure is a lesson, a valuable lesson that can help you get closer to your goals. One of the most powerful ways to learn from failure is to look at it as a reflection of your growth rather than a judgment of your ability. When you try something new or take a risk, the outcome is often uncertain. Success is never guaranteed, and failure can feel like a setback. But it's important to remember that every time you take a risk, you are growing. Even if you fail, you've gained experience, you've gained courage, you've gained resilience, and you've gained wisdom that you didn't have before. The more you step outside of your comfort zone and try new things, the more you will build the strength of character that is necessary for a strong personality. Another aspect of embracing failure is being kind to yourself. Too often, we are our own harshest critics. When we fail, we tend to beat ourselves up, questioning our worth, our abilities, or our intelligence. But self-criticism is not helpful. In fact, it can be paralyzing. If you want to build a strong personality, you have to learn to treat yourself with compassion, acknowledge the failure, recognize that it's a natural part of growth, and then move on. Beating yourself up over failure doesn't do anything to fix the situation. It only makes it worse. Instead, give yourself the grace to fail, just as you would give that grace to someone else. The key is to fail forward. Failure isn't permanent. It's a temporary setback, and it's not the end of the road unless you let it be. You can always try again. The question isn't whether or not you will fail. The question is how you will respond to that failure. Will you let it defeat you, or will you use it as motivation to keep going? The people who are successful in life are the ones who don't give up when they fail. They use their failures as fuel to push forward, to refine their approach, and to grow stronger. They understand that failure is simply a detour, not a dead end. In fact, sometimes failure is the greatest gift you can receive. Failure forces you to be honest with yourself. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, your mistakes, and your limitations. It makes you evaluate your decisions and actions. Failure forces you to reflect, and it's through this reflection that you grow stronger. Without failure, you would never know how much you are capable of. Without failure, you wouldn't learn what you're made of. Another key point about failure is that it is rarely as bad as we think it will be. Often we're so terrified of failure that we imagine the worst possible outcome, the most catastrophic result. But when we fail, we discover that the reality is rarely as extreme as we anticipated. In fact, failure is often a lot more manageable than we think. Sure, it might sting for a moment, but it's rarely the end of the world. And even if things don't work out as planned, failure usually comes with an opportunity to course correct and try again. So, the next time you're faced with the possibility of failure, remind yourself that the worst case scenario is probably not as bad as you're imagining. The fear of failure is often much bigger in our minds than it actually is in reality. You also need to recognize that failure is not something to be ashamed of. Society often teaches us that failing is something to hide or apologize for. We are told to keep our failures quiet, to sweep them under the rug, and to pretend they never happened. But this only adds shame to an already difficult experience. The truth is, everyone fails. Everyone faces setbacks. Everyone has moments where they fall short of their goals. So why not own it? Why not talk about it openly and learn from each other? Failure is a shared experience, and the more we normalize it, the easier it becomes to embrace. Finally, you need to remember that failure doesn't define you. It's what you do after the failure that truly matters. It's how you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going that defines your character. A strong personality is built on resilience, the ability to keep moving forward even after a setback. So when you fail, don't let it define you. Let it refine you. Let it teach you, and let it remind you that the path to success is paved with a series of failures, each one bringing you closer to the person you are meant to be. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on the person you become. They shape your thoughts, your habits, your outlook on life, and even your self-worth. If you want to build a strong personality, one of the most important things you can do is choose the right people to surround yourself with. The relationships you foster, the people you choose to spend your time with, can either elevate you or hold you back. The right people will encourage you, challenge you, and push you to grow. The wrong people will bring you down, feed your insecurities, and stifle your potential. It's not just about the number of people in your life, but the quality of the relationships you maintain. A few genuine, supportive, and positive individuals will always have more of an impact than a large group of people who don't truly understand or support you. The people you choose to keep close should lift you up, inspire you, and make you want to be the best version of yourself. They should challenge you in healthy ways, offering constructive criticism and new perspectives without judgment or negativity. When you surround yourself with the right people, you're giving yourself permission to dream bigger. These people believe in your potential even when you don't believe in it yourself. They see your strengths and encourage you to push past your weaknesses. They are the ones who remind you of your worth when you've forgotten, who cheer for you when you succeed, and who stand by you when you fail. Having a strong support system is a game changer because it provides you with the reassurance and encouragement you need to continue moving forward, even when things get tough. The right people also help you grow in ways you never imagined. They offer new ideas, challenge your assumptions, and expose you to different ways of thinking. They don't let you stay stuck in your comfort zone, and they push you to be better. It's through these relationships that you begin to see new possibilities and realize your own potential. These people encourage you to expand your horizons, try new things, and take risks. They motivate you to keep going when you want to give up. They remind you of your goals and help you stay on track. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you need people around you who will push you in the right direction. On the other hand, being around the wrong people can have the opposite effect. If you surround yourself with negative influences, people who are stuck in their own problems and limitations, their negativity will rub off on you. They will discourage you from pursuing your goals, tell you that you can't achieve your dreams, and keep you trapped in a cycle of self-doubt. They will make you feel small, insignificant, and unworthy of success. The wrong people drain your energy, leaving you with a constant sense of exhaustion and discouragement. They keep you stuck in your old patterns, preventing you from growing or reaching your full potential. In relationships, whether they're personal or professional, you have to constantly evaluate whether they are helping or hindering your growth. Are these people supporting your dreams, or are they holding you back? Are they inspiring you to be better, or are they constantly bringing you down? Are they adding value to your life, or are they taking away from it? It's important to take stock of who you're spending your time with and ask yourself if they are truly adding to your life or if they're causing you to waste your energy on things that don't serve you. You have the power to choose who you surround yourself with, and that choice will have a huge impact on your journey to building a strong personality. In order to surround yourself with the right people, you have to learn to set boundaries. Sometimes the people in your life may not be intentionally negative, but they can still have a toxic impact on your well-being. Setting healthy boundaries means recognizing when someone's behavior or energy is draining you and having the courage to step back. It's about knowing when to say no, when to limit your time with someone, and when to walk away from relationships that no longer serve you. Setting boundaries is not about being rude or unkind. It's about protecting your energy and preserving your peace of mind. When you create space for the right people in your life, you leave less room for the wrong one. It's also essential to build relationships with people who share your values. People who align with your values will naturally support your goals and encourage you to be true to yourself. They won't try to change you or pressure you to conform to their standards. They will accept you for who you are and challenge you to stay true to your values no matter what. When you have people around you who share the same values, you build a strong foundation of trust and mutual respect. These relationships are grounded in authenticity, which creates deeper, more meaningful connections. Choosing the right people also means seeking out individuals who will hold you accountable. Surround yourself with people who care enough to call you out when you're not living up to your potential. These are the people who will remind you of your goals when you start to lose focus, who will challenge you when you become complacent, and who will be honest with you even when it's uncomfortable. Accountability is an important aspect of building a strong personality because it helps you stay disciplined, committed, and consistent in your efforts. The right people will not let you settle for mediocrity. They will push you to keep striving for excellence. At the same time, it's important to be the right person yourself. Relationships are a two-way street, and you can't expect others to uplift you if you're not willing to do the same for them. If you want to attract people who encourage your growth and challenge you to be better, you need to be willing to do the same for others. This means showing up for people, being a supportive friend or colleague, and offering encouragement and accountability when it's needed. Strong relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and support. By being the right person for others, you create an environment where everyone can thrive and grow together. One of the best ways to attract the right people into your life is to be authentic. When you show up as your true self, you naturally attract people who resonate with your energy and values. Pretending to be someone you're not, or trying to fit into a mold that doesn't align with your true identity, only brings people into your life who aren't aligned with who you really are. But when you show up as your authentic self, you attract people who appreciate you for exactly who you are. These are the people who will support you through thick and thin, who will help you grow, and who will challenge you in ways that help you evolve into the best version of yourself. Ultimately, the people you surround yourself with are one of the most powerful influences on your life. The right people will inspire you, support you, challenge you, and help you grow. The wrong people will bring you down, hold you back, and keep you stuck in your old ways. If you want to build a strong personality, you have to be intentional about the relationships you cultivate. Surround yourself with people who elevate you, encourage your growth, and challenge you to be better. Choose your inner circle wisely, because the people around you will shape the person you become. To build a strong personality, one of the most critical aspects to focus on is self-awareness. You cannot improve or grow unless you truly understand who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your personal triggers. Without self-awareness, you will constantly be reacting to life rather than responding intentionally. Understanding yourself means having a clear picture of your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and how they align with your values and goals. It's about knowing what drives you, what holds you back, and where you want to go in life. When you cultivate this awareness, you gain the ability to make better decisions, navigate challenges more effectively, and interact with others in a way that is true to yourself. One of the first steps to increasing self-awareness is developing the practice of self-reflection. This means taking the time to regularly step back from the busyness of life and think about your actions, decisions, and emotions. How did you handle situations that challenged you? What did you learn from those moments? What could you have done differently? Self-reflection requires an honest evaluation of your actions without judgment. It's not about criticizing yourself, but rather recognizing patterns in your behavior and identifying areas for growth. By engaging in this process, you begin to identify your strengths and areas that need improvement. Self-reflection gives you insight into how your actions align with your goals and whether your daily habits are supporting the person you want to become. Another way to develop self-awareness is by embracing feedback. Sometimes we are too close to our own lives to see things clearly. Our perspectives can be clouded by our own biases or blind spots. This is why getting feedback from others, whether it's from trusted friends, family, or colleagues, can be invaluable. Feedback helps us see ourselves through a different lens. People who care about you will offer constructive criticism that helps you grow. Instead of reacting defensively, you need to be open to receiving feedback. When you accept that others' perspectives are valuable, you are allowing yourself to expand your understanding of who you are and how you show up in the world. However, it's also important to remember that not all feedback is created equal. You need to be selective about who you take feedback from. Not everyone's opinion deserves your attention. Focus on people who have a track record of being honest, supportive, and aligned with your values. The people who genuinely want the best for you will offer constructive criticism with the intention of helping you improve, not tearing you down. By listening to the right people and filtering out the noise, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself. Self-awareness also involves recognizing your emotional patterns and understanding how your emotions influence your actions. Emotions are powerful and can sometimes cloud our judgment, leading us to make decisions that aren't in our best interests. When you're self-awareness, you begin to notice when you're triggered by certain situations or people, and you understand why you react the way you do. Instead of being controlled by your emotions, you learn to recognize them and choose how to respond rather than react impulsively. This ability to pause, reflect, and choose a measured response is a hallmark of emotional intelligence and an essential part of building a strong personality. Additionally, self-awareness helps you improve your relationships. When you understand your own needs, emotions, and triggers, you can communicate more effectively with others. You're able to express your thoughts and feelings with clarity and authenticity. You're also more attuned to the needs and emotions of those around you, which allows you to respond with empathy and understanding. A person who is self-aware can navigate conflicts with more grace because they're able to step back, assess the situation objectively, and approach the issue with a level head. Instead of acting out of defensiveness or anger, self-awareness gives you the emotional intelligence to handle challenges in a way that fosters connection and resolution. In addition to emotional intelligence, self-awareness also involves recognizing your strengths. Knowing what you're good at allows you to focus on leveraging those strengths in various areas of your life. When you know where your natural talents lie, you can find ways to build upon them and use them to your advantage. This doesn't mean you should ignore areas where you need to improve, but recognizing your strengths gives you a sense of confidence and clarity. It allows you to step into situations where you can excel and contribute meaningfully, which ultimately boosts your sense of self-worth. On the flip side, self-awareness also requires acknowledging your weaknesses. This is often the most difficult aspect of self-awareness because no one likes to confront their flaws. But being honest with yourself about your limitations is crucial for growth. When you understand where you fall short, you can take the necessary steps to improve. Self-awareness isn't about being perfect or pretending that you don't have areas of weakness. It's about recognizing where you need to improve and taking action to get better, whether it's learning a new skill, seeking support, or working on a particular mindset. Acknowledging your weaknesses is the first step toward overcoming them. Another important aspect of self-awareness is recognizing your motivations. Why do you do the things you do? What drives your decisions and actions? When you understand the underlying motivations behind your behavior, you can make more informed and intentional choices. Are you seeking validation from others? Are you motivated by fear or insecurity? Or are you driven by a genuine desire to grow, contribute, and make a positive impact? Understanding your motivations allows you to be more mindful of your actions